out here in the for-profit sector. There are some nonprofit folks out here. And they have to balance their time with regard to their constituencies, whether it's their clients, their employees, their vendors, their shareholders and stakeholders. How do you break your time with folks that you would consider your various stakeholders in the company, with the organization?
Well, it is an institution with 150 employees, and there's about 140 down on the water, and there's another 10 over the museum. So much of my time is spent interfacing with those folks. Many of you out here have boards of directors. I am doubly blessed. I have 2 boards I report to, one in New York and one in Cleveland. And for many years, there was some interesting issues that went on between the two that doesn't exist anymore. Our missions are very closely aligned now in terms of promotion and funding of the museum. So much of my time is spent with the 2 boards through an executive committee and through a finance committee. The museum is run in day-to-day basis by the Cleveland board, the New York board, which licensed it to Cleveland. Remember, folks, it was not ours. We didn't create it. They created it in New York, and we licensed it. We raised the money for it, but that license, New York has oversight over exhibits, sponsorships, merchandising, and licensing. So anything I do in that area, I run through the New York board to get approvals, and the rest of the time I'm dealing largely with our chairman, Bill Rowley, at this time, and our executive committee. And then again, customers, constituencies, whether it's trying to reach a broader audience, whether it's generating new opportunities. We just recently signed a new deal with satellite radio with Sirius, where we're going back to 7 days and we'll have our own dedicated channel, which is something I had to spend a lot of time on. We'll be creating content for that channel 24/7, and the newer editions of the radios and the players that you get will have that station on it all the time. So that's going to cause a lot of angst among our folks having to create that content. So it's those kind of opportunities. You prioritize the opportunities, and you still have to, on a day-to-day basis, do your blocking and tackling with your staff and with your board.
How about with the artists themselves, whose memorabilia and items that you have on display?
I deal with a lot of artists, but only when I have a specific need. One of the challenges for folks that are in this world is that there's a big temptation just to go up and start yakking your mouth off with an artist. There's very little you can say to an artist that they haven't heard, and they often don't want to be bothered. So you have to play your cards correctly. But we have an awful lot of folks in the building that do spend their time talking to the artists, talking to their management, because we do need their stuff, we need their cooperation. And artists aren't philanthropic in a financial sense. We ask them for their stuff, we ask them for their time, and money would be third. And they get asked to do all of this daily, hundreds of times. So it's not surprising that they have a hard time with it. I mean, right now, for those of you who should, this is just a crass sort of ad for our American Music Masters that comes up in 3 weeks when the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, will be here for 2 days. We'll be honoring her with American Music Masters Award, but we've got, Cissy Houston, Lauryn Hill, Chaka Khan, Jerry Butler, Ron Isley, and a bunch of other artists coming in for free. And we take care of their expenses, but that's the kind of dry powder I use up all the time. So that's where most of my calls go, and my time as my staff's calls go.
Interesting.